Two.
Part two. Hi, we're back.
Got it.
Okay. We're having some technical difficulties, so we'll have part one and part two, but we'll post it at the same time. Hi, welcome back. Okay, so we were talking about electricity, like how our bodies are affected by everything that's around us with the EMFs and
Yes,
electrical wires that are like so barbaric. I mean, they're like still like, I mean, it just looks
I
so
know.
caveman with our telephone pole,
I know.
electric wires that go. It's just, I mean, some go underground, but then we're walking on top of that electrical stuff.
And
So,
it's electrifying the earth even
and
more.
it's just, yeah,
It's not a solution, really.
no, it's not a solution. And that's a whole nother video of the solutions that are out there. But that's what we're in this ascension to change the, more negative things that have been happening here in that 3D timeline loop. But so we were focusing though on the body and healing it with the biogeometry. And yeah, you were explaining how the electricity moves forward and it heats up and it's just not good for our body. I think that's where we were at in the last.
Yes, I was relating um, the the work of Dr. Ibrahim Karim to create all these tools and solutions to help us live in a positive way, in a high vibrational way, even though we're surrounded by all of this electrosmog.
Mm.
So a lot of his tools really address those issues. And he actually has a huge clientele of people who can hardly do anything around Wi-Fi and, some of these waves that are coming out of the towers,
Right.
cell towers, and all
Yeah.
that. So some people cannot even think, they can't function. So the different things he's created, like these pendants, which have tiny little signatures that
Mm.
coordinate to all the lungs and all the different processes of the body.
Yeah.
And so it has these signatures that then resonate with your organs and your systems, and then creates that, in that resonance, when you put it in your energy field, which I didn't really even mention the whole energy field, which is we all have this toroidal field around us, right?
Mhm.
And all like trees and everything. So if you could imagine like all these, kind of donuts of energy coming off
Yeah.
of our bodies and all of our things also around us, and the trees and the
Mhm.
everything has a toroidal field.
Right.
So there's this intermingling of the fields, right?
Mhm.
And that's where the ancients uh, would refer to it as a net or a webbing. So we're in this like sea of energy,
Mhm.
and we're kind of like fish in water. We don't really know that we're in water, but it's
Right.
it's the ether, right? So we're in this ether environment. So everything is mixing in this ether environment. So that's all influencing our fields. So
Yeah.
part of what, correcting disturbances in the body and in the home creates this higher vibration to work with all the fields, to all this energy fields. And he has an amazing techniques to clear the body, even like after you're on the computer for a while, or any electronic devices, you can stand up, put your arms in the air, and
Mhm.
say, "Hoo, hoo," and that sound,
Mm.
along with raising your arms up, will
Okay.
clear the lower chakras
Awesome.
and the
Excellent.
higher chakras. It clears the higher chakras, which clears the lower chakras. So that's the thing about the chakras. If you clear the higher ones, it'll clear the lower ones.
Awesome.
So, and these are energy centers. So it's about keeping our energy centers
Yeah.
clear,
Mhm.
vibrating, and, all the chakras spinning,
Yes.
right? You want them
Spinning,
spinning,
spinning.
you want them in motion.
Yes.
Yeah. And they are like cones of energy that come out the front and the back of us.
Mhm.
So there's all these different energy centers. And then also in working with the energy of the shapes, like if a certain chakra is off, it's connected to organs. So
Right.
there's checking the organs around that particular chakra,
Yeah.
so there's different ways to test um, your physical energy centers in the body.
I love that. It's like, I just
Yeah.
love it. I've always loved it. I love that. Yeah. Everything is energy and working with our chakras and the Merkaba. I think that's the same as the toroidal field and all of that. Like, yeah.
Well, it's all like geometry. I mean, it's crazy, but it's interesting. It's all geometry and angles and light and
And like,
color
yeah.
and
Beautiful.
an energetic line.
Yeah.
How it moves through our
Yeah.
bodies and through the organs, and so I
Hmm.
mean, part of his work was really to help us understand the interconnectedness of our energies.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole idea with, the Taurus field. When we have issues from the past,
Hmm.
it creates an effect in our field.
Right.
So that's why past, present, future is all one,
So one.
because it's all in our field.
Right.
And I don't know if you've heard about the biofield tuning that Eileen, I forget her last name,
That
but
sounds familiar.
she
Yeah.
does the tuning forks,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And she started to figure out when she's away from the body,
Yeah.
there's a different sound that happens, and that she started to connect that with the past, so
Right.
that we are like these,
Yeah.
you know, trees almost, in
Hmm.
that there's these rings of energy that coordinate to different years of our lives. And
But it
how
still happens, so now we're getting into the quantum because that is still happening, so that's why you can actually go into that time and space where that trauma was and, like, heal it and, like, kind of actually,
yeah,
yeah, seal up that, you can transmute whatever negativity was happening in that time and space because it's still there.
yeah.
It's flowing in,
Well,
yeah,
and this is like the alchemy, right? So this the woman who created the biofield tuning
yeah,
is doing it with sound, you know,
yeah,
creating an taking a disturbance and raising it to a higher vibration. So this is all the basis of biogeometry,
I love it.
and
I just love it. It's just I
it's really like, yeah, it's really powerful, but it's not like a quick sound bite. It could like, this is what it is. It's just, it's vast.
it's
I
very
mean,
vast. Yeah.
I can, it's very vast. I mean, I can go into a home,
Mhm.
and with the home kit, he's actually created a kit with these different shapes. And I can take my pendulum and measure all the leaks, energy leaks in the home, and take the Wi-Fi and correct it with an angle, this little shape that's like a 90-degree angle that's corrected.
Wow.
And the windows and the doorways, things that lose energy, the energy keys in the room, so it's like the origins of feng shui. It's the energy behind these principles.
Yeah.
It's the vibration behind these principles. So, and you can take your laptop and correct the laptop. You could take all your electric and raise it to a higher vibration. You could put in like a number combination on your electric panel and raise it to a higher vibration.
Yeah.
So, and it will still have the emitting
Yeah.
that, if you tested it on one of those, what are they called? The machines that
Yes.
test
My
the
mom
EMF.
just gave me hers because she wanted me to test my home, like, and I'm like, "Wow," like, I didn't realize how much, just from the outlets, the electricity outlets, the cords that are connected, the smart meter,
Yeah, no.
that's all like, it's just, whoa. There's so much, and so we do have these tools. So you have the man that you're speaking of. So he has the, stuff. he has things for the house too, right? Like the Oregon pyramids that people will
Yeah,
put in, or, so you can
yeah,
place, and it will keep those those dirty,
yes.
smoggy, energies that we don't want in our space out. Like the one that you're wearing, you can wear it on your body.
Well, and it'll still read like there's an electric,
Hmm.
current coming out, but it will change the energy on the effect
Yes.
of all the other life forms
Right.
in the body,
Right.
in the environment. So, and this is what I'm talking about. There's a combination of things
Yeah.
that happen to create, disturbances in the body,
Yeah.
in the home, or
Yeah.
in your environment. And that also can be natural. I mean, there's also
Just gonna ask you.
energy lines,
That's right. Because
yeah, natural radiation.
yeah,
So,
or just
and you get like what you have is, oh, go ahead.
oh well, I was thinking of, because I feel like I have the gifts to actually clear like these, because we have these tools, but I feel like I'm able to just do them clear through my thoughts. Just because I've been working on that for many years, but because I'm able to tune in with homes and see if it's clear, or if it's the land, because the ley lines have been hijacked or whatever, or and so it's just a lower vibration. So that's when you said natural. So say it's like more entity based. So can you use these devices
Yes.
to, okay, yeah, awesome.
Well, the thing is if you start amping up your land, and also there's a way to map power spots on your land. So if you create power spots, which are just an intersection of ley lines,
Right.
I can do it from a Google map, from a
Yeah.
satellite map, and I can find, and then you can amplify. And then we go physically to the power spot and we'll amplify it with number.
Yeah.
So I can use like 16 as a sacred number. That's one of the first ones.
Okay.
16
Yeah.
stones on the power spot will amplify that. The more you amplify your land and where you live in your home, the
Yeah.
lower entities cannot dwell there.
That's
They have to leave. It's uncomfortable. They don't like it.
yeah.
So part of why you want to do this
Mm-hmm.
is to also, you'll naturally clear out anything that's like lurking around,
Yeah.
any kind of funky energy.
I love that. Yeah.
So because they're drawn to that.
Right.
And then when you were talking about the ley lines, I mean, because there's ley line crossings with water that can create toxicity. And
Okay.
this, they could see, like farmers did this. This is why they doused on their land, because they were like, where's the water?
Mhm.
Where should I put my home? Where should I grow crops? Because if there was a toxic intersection,
Mm.
and that's just like at an angle of the lines with water coming a certain direction underneath, if you put your home on there,
Yeah.
you would get sick,
Wow.
you know. And
That's
if you tried to grow things on there, they would have tumors. So you can kind of look at trees and you can see like maybe the bushes are growing, a hedge is growing, but then there's one spot it's not growing.
yeah.
Well, there's something there underneath that's like preventing it from growing, and that's usually like some kind of toxicity. Or
Wow.
you'll see a tree with all these tumors, and somewhere in that area is the toxicity.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah, I
cool.
know. So this stuff is ancient. It's ancient.
I can't
It's so
wait
old.
till you teach a course on this, because because I want to learn, but I want to, and because I just eat,
Yeah.
because I really resonate with you when you talk. So it's like, oh, I want to learn more from you. Yeah. So
Well, I mean, I would suggest their courses. Go to biogeometry.com
I want you to,
and look up their courses, because
okay.
they are, I know you went for B,
Yeah.
but they are amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
And during the pandemic, they used to just teach once a year in at the Vesica Institute in North Carolina.
Okay.
And because of the pandemic, they created a online
Okay.
way to learn. So that's how I learned after
Okay.
going to Egypt.
Yeah.
They went online, so I was able to take both of the
Okay.
courses.
Oh, awesome. And
And
what's tell us
yeah,
that biogeometry? Tell us again.
yes, .com,
Doc biogeometry.
biogeometry.com.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
Oh, awesome.
you can see all the courses they offer. And
Oh, awesome.
you
Okay.
know, he's an architect, so he really knows a lot about, you know, how to create higher vibrational structures, because the ancients knew how to build. They knew how to build with sacred number, you know,
Yeah.
putting things at certain angles. They use domes, or even the pyramid, the Great Pyramid is indented slightly. So it's 8-sided. So
It,
all these copper pyramids that are 4-sided, they may not be good. They may not be beneficial,
okay.
because actually
Interesting.
they knew to indent it slightly on the ley lines that they're on, because they're on such a huge intersection of lines.
Yeah.
And, you know, they knew to do that.
Mm,
So it would create a positive energy
yeah.
versus a negative frequency. So
Oh, interesting.
there, we have lost that art, unfortunately, to, like, you know, really create structure that people can thrive in. I mean, I think there's movements to create, you know, domes and things like that, different shapes of homes, but it definitely, I mean, you combine a home on certain ley lines with Wi-Fi and all that, you really can have and also building materials, right?
Oh my,
Those can be toxic.
serious. Yeah. No,
So
like the mold and yeah, and people have gotten sick for just living in their home
yeah,
with all of that. The
it's
yeah.
amazing we do as well as we do, really, right?
We're resilient. Okay? Like
We
this,
are very
we
resilient.
actually
But
are.
if you're suffering from an autoimmune thing, or, like, you know, out of balance in some way, it's like really hard to fully recover with
Mhm.
all the other things taking your life force, you
It
know.
is.
And this is about building life force.
It
All
is.
this work is
Yeah.
about building your life force.
It is. And this is just one portion of it. Like it's like, yeah, because then we're because we could totally go off onto like how to cleanse the body. I think the whole craze right now is like to parasite cleanse and eat really healthy and figure it, it's just we're getting bombarded from all sorts. So it's yeah,
Yeah,
but we can do it. We're, it's this is why we're here. Is to
yeah.
is to get through this. Yeah.
Well, and I want to just combine all the tools, you know. Astrology we haven't even talked about, but
That'll
that
be on our
also
next. I know.
combines.
I was gonna ask you a few other. I was like, gonna
Yeah,
with all the stuff you do, I love, but that'll be on our next episode because I want to dive into, well, maybe you can briefly talk about the astrology. That'll be another video, but your amulet readings. Can you do
yeah.
it? Yeah. I love
Oh, the
that.
amulet reading.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tell
so
us.
I've been a jeweler for
Yeah.
like many years, over 25 years. And
Ama-
I started, when I started working with astrology, I was like, oh, this has a powerful connection to your energy system and how you do your energy. And then there's a way to balance things. And then with the biogeometry, using the energy of shapes and sacred geometry, and really understanding the origins
Mhm.
and the key, you know, why the pentagram is a sacred shape, is because it has all these angles on it, right? So it protects your emotional energy. Now,
Mm,
of course, the pentagram has been used by dark and the light, you know, but it really is a high vibrational symbol.
yeah.
So it's like, how do we add symbols, stone energies? You work with crystals, you
Yeah.
know, there's different energies
Yeah.
to combine in your energy system to create a piece that is a talisman, that's a tool that will help support your energy system.
Mhm.
So that's kind of been
Love
the
that.
ultimate thing that has come out of all this is like, oh, I can create these
Yeah.
powerful tools using all these techniques
Mhm.
that I have been, working with
Yeah.
to create a really high vibrational tool.
Yeah.
And I've had everyone that I've worked with, each one is completely different. And I get a lot of amazing feedback of like, wow, this is a tool. When I put it on, it's like,
Hey, I can't wait to
we'll
get one.
have a
So
specific,
that's yeah. Because what you'll do is
yeah.
you'll scan like so when you give a reading to somebody, so explain to us like, so, because I'm gonna put your information in the bio
Okay.
or the description. So
So, okay. You can,
you'll tap in.
um,
Sorry, you froze up. Go ahead.
oh, so you go to my website, you can sign up for this session. It's $48 for 30 minutes with me, and we'll have a conversation, a Zoom meeting
Mhm.
about you'll give me your astrology information before that, and so I'll have that already. I've already looked at that by the time we meet. And then I will and then we'll talk about what you're needing support with, and I'll see what I see in the chart in terms of balancing the chart. Maybe you've got like tons of planets in Virgo like me, and you got a lot of, things, a lot of issues. And you need to balance them out, right? You got too much mental energy or whatever, so I'll go to the stones or the shapes, and then I just collect all that information from you during our meeting, and then after that I will kind of think about it, and intuitive, that's why I call it intuitive, because it's not really channeling, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's intuitive, like, okay, these stones are coming to me, and these,
Mhm.
and then I throw it back at you, like, hey, what do you think about that? And then you can say, well, I really would rather this or whatever. And then we work it out, because I want something you're aware. And and I'm just coming up with, I usually come up with something initially, and then I get feedback, and then I adjust it or whatever,
Yeah.
and I want the thing you want, a ring or a necklace or earrings or whatever you want to wear.
Yeah.
Um, and then I create it.
Yay. And then that's so it's $48 for the reading, but then there's a cost for the actual piece of jewelry, right?
Yes, so it depends on the metal you want and things like that. But so that is also, so it can be high end, or it can be kind of more 300-ish,
Mhm.
It's 300 seems to be the around the lowest
Mhm.
so far, in terms of like, because they've been pretty elaborate even when they're in silver. So, but if it's gold, it's going to be a lot more, you
Yeah.
know. But we work out, you're
Mhm.
not committed to anything.
Yeah.
You could even be like, oh, well, I don't want to do it right now. I want to do it maybe in the future or whatever.
Yeah. Love
So
that. I just
yeah.
love that. Yeah. So perfect. Yay.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I guess we'll wrap it up. That was amazing. Thank
All
you
right.
Lynn, for getting on here and yeah, and sharing all your wisdom. And I can't wait to do our next video because I'm like,
I
there's
know.
so much
So fun.
more, but because you're just so knowledgeable and so much stuff. So yeah, I'm like,
I know
okay,
it all.
get into the astrology. I
Yeah.
mean, we could. I mean, I don't know. I guess people you can like just pause it and listen
That's
to
a whole
some of
other
our
thing.
video later, because I will if I'm really into like what I'm listening to, and it's a 3-hour video, like I'll, pause it. Because we were going to talk a little bit about the Scorpio season, just really quick.
Oh,
'Cause
well, that's all about life force energy. So I've actually,
we just did.
Scorpio,
Hmm.
that was the whole point. Really cultivating more life force and really understanding life force.
Right.
That's all Scorpio is, So Scorpio season is like the inner life force, versus the outer.
Yeah. Awesome. And that's what we just
Yeah.
so awesome. Yeah, perfect. So
Yeah.
all right. So I will leave everything, all our information in the description in this channel. And please like, share, and subscribe if you resonated with this video. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Okay, bye.